Hello everyone, I'm Guido Grimbaum, and I'm going to begin module number 23 of the Microcredentials course. When a university decides to implement microcredentials, the first question shouldn't be which platform to use, but rather how we are going to sustain this over time. Because educational innovation doesn't fail due to a lack of ideas, it fails due to a lack of a model. And if we want microcredentials to become a structural part of our university, we have to think about sustainability, about how to balance costs, impact, and purpose. Today we're going to talk about that, about numbers, but also about strategy, about how to plan the economic model behind microcredentials and how to justify the investment to authorities or institutional partners. Because issuing badges is not expensive. What is expensive is improvising, and what is cheap, if it has no impact, ends up being costly. Let's start with the basics. What are the cost components of a microcredential program? There are four main categories. Number one, academic development, which includes instructional design, faculty time, and the creation of evaluation criteria. Number two, technology, which covers the issuing platform, the LMS, and technical support. Number three, management and communication, from marketing to student support. And number four, monitoring and innovation, which covers impact measurement, analytics, and continuous improvement. On average, between 60 and 70% of the initial expenditure is concentrated in the first 6 months of the project, during the stage where the program is designed, tested, and staff are trained. After that, costs drop dramatically. In fact, once the infrastructure is in place, issuing a credential can cost less than $1. This makes microcredentials one of the most scalable models in the education system. To give a concrete idea, in year one, around $25,000 between development and training licenses is what it would cost. In year two, it drops to about $10,000, and in year three, less than $6,000. And if during that time you issue 10,000 credentials, the batch cost drops to just a few cents. The important thing is not to spend little, but to invest wisely. Now then, how is all of this funded? There are 5 possible revenue models, and each one makes sense in different contexts. The first is the free institutional model. Here, the university covers the cost because it considers microcredentials a natural extension of its educational mission. It works very well as a positioning tool, as in the case of FIU, which uses credentials as part of its academic identity. The second model is the pay-per-student model. Each student pays a small fee between $5 and $25 to receive their verifiable credential. It is common in MOOCs or executive programs, where students value having additional evidence of learning. It is not a for-profit model, but rather one of shared economic responsibility. The third model is the company-sponsored model. Here, an organization funds the credentials for its employees or scholarship recipients. This approach is increasingly seen in university business alliances, where programs are designed with the participation of the productive sector. Microsoft, Google, and Coursera for Business do this constantly. Universities can adapt it with simple agreements, aligning training with market needs. The fourth model is co-issuance with partners. 2 institutions or a university and a technical school issue credentials together and share the revenue. This allows for greater reach and reduced costs. It is the typical model of Erasmus Plus or of regional alliances between European universities. Additionally, it creates a sense of legitimacy. The same batch carries 2 institutional seals. And the fifth model is the annual institutional license. The university pays a fixed fee for unlimited issuance throughout the year. This involves management, allows for budget predictability, and eliminates variable costs for each batch. It's a model used by many universities with a variety of platforms. Once the models are defined, the key question arises. And now, how do we measure the return on investment? And this is where we need to change our mindset. ROI is not measured only in money. It is measured in reputation, visibility, employability, and academic continuity. Let me give you an example. At the university, for example, they invest $10,000 a year and issue 5,000 credentials. Each credential shared on LinkedIn generates between 800 and 2,000 organic views. In total, the university reaches more than 4 million visits per year. If you gave me that as advertising value, it would be equivalent to more than $40,000 in brand exposure. That is reputational, and many times it is the most powerful of all. But the impact goes beyond marketing. Microcredentials improve student retention by between 10 and 20%. Why? Because students feel recognized before they graduate. Additionally, those who earn a microcredential are more likely to continue at the institution to pursue the next level. That stacking effect has direct economic value. There are also strategies to scale without increasing costs. Standardize badge templates. Automate integrations with the MS, centralize issuance management, allow autonomy for faculties, and form an internal design and communications team. Each step reduces marginal costs and accelerates growth. But like any project, there are financial risks. The most common is lack of internal adoption. This can be avoided with faculty training and well-communicated pilot programs. Another risk? Underutilizing the platform. Mitigation? Integrate it with regular resources and one more, relying on a single provider. The solution is to use open standards like Open Batch 3.0. There are several inspiring cases that combine free badges in undergraduate programs and paid ones in executive education. Several cases like University College Dublin, which integrates microcredentials as formal formats and formal credits, and SUNY, which self-finances its program with a stackable modular system. And another one, European University Alliance, which uses Erasmus Plus co-financing to scale regionally. All different models, but with something in common. To close, I want to leave you with one idea. Microcredentials are not an expense. They are an investment that modernizes education, an investment that generates reputation, employability, and a sense of belonging. The universities that understand this, they don't ask themselves if they can afford it. They ask how to make it sustainable, because knowledge is not measured only by cost, but by impact. And when the impact is real, the investment is always worth it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this module as well and learned something new. And I look forward to seeing you in the next module. Thank you very much.